Bombay Steels, J Bancha, Diko Bancha. Real, Jamghar Jahan, Real Party Pack Tyahan.
Proud to be associated with Kantipur News.
After months of controversy, criticism and intense debate, the Federal Civil Service Bill has finally passed in the lower house, marking a key milestone in public sector reform. Meanwhile, the UN's nuclear watchdog has raised concerns that Iran retains the capacity to build nuclear weapons even after the US struck 3 of its nuclear sites. On a lighter note, the nation marked Paddy Day with festivities and a renewed call to boost rice cultivation as a cornerstone of food security. But in East Africa, a growing health crisis looms as cholera is spreading rapidly across Sudan, straining an already fragile healthcare system and raising urgent calls for international assistance. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Federal Civil Service Bill 2080 finally passed by the House of Representatives after significant delays and political tension. The controversial provision of cooling period intact. 22nd National Paddy Day celebrated across the country today. Intensification in rice cultivation for food security and self-reliance the major theme. Head of UN's nuclear watchdog warns Iran has the capacity to start enriching uranium again for a possible bomb despite US strikes on 3 sites last weekend. And it's Nepal versus Laos today in AFC Women's Asian Cup qualifiers. The game to mark a milestone 100th international match for the Nepali women's team. The Federal Civil Service Bill 2080 has been passed by a majority from today's meeting of the House of Representatives. In the meeting, Minister for Federal Affairs and General Administration Rajkumar Gupta proposed that the Federal Civil Service Bill, along with the report of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, be discussed. A discussion was held on the proposal, during which Minister Gupta responded to questions that were raised. After providing his responses, the minister presented a proposal for the bill to be passed by the lower house. With the majority of members of the lower house agreeing to the proposal, Speaker Devraj Khimere announced that the bill had been passed. With the goal of achieving food security and self-reliance on crops production, Nepal is observing the 22nd National Rice Day and Plantation Festival today. It has been over 2 decades that the National Rice Day has begun as a promotional event, yet the country has still not achieved self-reliance in rice production. According to Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Nepal continues to face a shortfall of around 1 million metric tons of paddy annually. Government efforts towards achieving paddy's self-sufficiency have yet to yield the desired results.
Nepal requires around 7 million metric tons of paddy annually. However, yearly production remains between 5.5 to nearly 6 million metric tons. Last year, the total output stood at 5.955 million metric tons. Experts say that productivity must be increased to meet national demand, but the government support has been limited. Farmers continue to face recurring issues related to fertilizer, seeds, and irrigation. The available paddy varieties also often fail to meet local taste preferences. Experts are calling for greater focus on fine-grain rice production.
तर प्राथमिकता केमा हुनुपर्ने जुन समस्या उहाँहरूले 3टा दर्शाउनु भएको छ नि अघि मैले उल्लेख गरेँ मसिना तथा बास्नादार धान चाहिँ हाम्रो आयात हुन्छ धेरै भनेपछि हामी त्यसैमा फोकस्ड भएर त्यसैको उत्पादन बढाउने त्यसको लागि प्राथमिकता दिएर कार्यक्रमहरू सञ्चालन गर्ने बनाउने.
While neighboring countries like India and China have achieved yields of up to 7 tons per hectare, Nepal still lags behind. The Nepal Agricultural Research Council, NARC, has developed rice varieties that can withstand drought, floods, and dry spells. More than 140 varieties have been officially registered in Nepal, including hybrid types. However, government officials admit that lack of access to quality seeds has limited expected outcomes.
मुख्य रूपमा इल्ड ग्याप भएको भन्ने कुरा प्रश्न आयो हामीले हेर्दाखेरि अनुसन्धान केन्द्रमा 5.8 मेट्रिक टन इल्ड रहेछ र हाम्रो नेशनल एभरेज 4.1 छ भनेपछि यो हिसाब पक्कै हो त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ अब हाम्रो उन्नत जातहरु मैले अघि भने 35% हाम्रो कभरेज छ भने चाहिँ हाम्रो त्यसको औसत उमेर हेर्ने हो भने पनि लगभग हाम्रो 15 वर्षभन्दा माथि चाहिँ उमेर छ। त्यसले गर्दा हाम्रो अबको आवश्यकता के हो भने कसरी हामीसँग भएको प्रविधिलाई फिल्डमा लिएर जाने र इल ग्यापलाई कसरी कम गर्ने भन्ने कुरा हामीलाई ठुलो च्यालेन्ज हो।
To reduce dependence on imports, the government has launched a new initiative promoting the cultivation of spring rice, which is also known as Chaite Dhan, this year. A nationwide rollout is being prepared for next year across 18 districts and 58 municipalities, supported through conditional federal funding. Rice production and processing efforts are also being implemented under the Prime Minister's Agriculture Modernization Project, which includes 21 zones and 5 super zones specifically for paddy. The government claims these measures are aimed at leading the country toward agricultural self-reliance.
राज्यले पनि यसपटक स्वीकार गरेको छ 2 वर्षभित्रमा हामी आत्मनिर्भर हुने धानका लागि भएर जुन ढंगले प्रतिबद्धता व्यक्त गरेको छ साँच्चै हो। हामी 2 वर्षभित्रमा हामी आत्मनिर्भर हुन्छौं। हामी भन्नाले किसानी गर्ने मान्छे मात्रै होइन, हामीसँग त 3-4 थरीका किसान हुनुहुन्छ, व्यवसायी किसान हुनुहुन्छ, त्यसैगरी आफू मात्रै आत्मनिर्भर हुने किसान हुनुहुन्छ।
हामी अगाडि बढ्न सक्छौं। खाद्य सुरक्षामा हामी आत्मनिर्भरतर्फ जान सक्छौं र खाद्य सुरक्षा प्राप्त गर्नु भनेको एउटा राष्ट्रिय सुरक्षाको हिसाबले पनि महत्त्वपूर्ण विषय हो। यसमा हामीले अझै आगामी दिनमा कृषि क्षेत्रमा, धान बालीको क्षेत्रमा प्रविधि इनोभेसन, लगानी र साइन्टिफिक हिसाबले अगाडि बढ्दै जानुपर्ने कुरा छ।
Challenges such as land fragmentation, climate change and traditional farming methods remain major obstacles in achieving rice self-sufficiency. With Vikas Doshi on camera, a report by Suman Pantha for Kantipur News.
Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Ramnath Adhikari, has claimed that although there is not enough fertilizers, the government is capable of managing the situation. While addressing a program organized in Lalitpur on the occasion of 22nd National Paddy Day, Minister Adhikari said that although there were concerns about major fertilizer shortages during the Nepalese months of Asar and Shravan, the government is capable of handling this situation. He urged people not to think that paddy plantation cannot be done due to fertilizer shortages. He also added that the government is serious about addressing the demands of farmers. Minister Adhikari also stated that the country cannot progress toward development unless one steps into the mud, symbolizing involvement in farming. He said that a mindset is developing where people want to avoid stepping into the mud and emphasized that such thinking should not be encouraged. He also added that if research and improvements are made in rice farming, there will be no issue in becoming self-sufficient in paddy production. The Parliament's Education Committee has decided that individuals who have pursued higher education in faculties other than education will also be eligible to become teachers in community schools. In today's meeting, the committee decided to include a provision in the education bill that allows individuals with higher education from any faculty to become teachers. So far, only those who studied in the Faculty of Education were legally eligible to become teachers. Although teaching profession is now open to all faculties, obtaining a teaching license has been made mandatory. The provision also allows individuals from faculties other than education to take the licensing examination conducted by the Teacher Service Commission.
शिक्षक बन्नका लागि त्यो नभई नहुने होइन, अरु ज्ञान प्राप्त गरेको जस्तै साइन्स पढेको टिचरले शिक्षक हुन नपाउने, आईटी पढेको टिचरले शिक्षक हुन नपाउने भन्ने त छैन नि। त्यसकारणले सबै प्रकृतिका जाने राम्रा टिचरहरूलाई शिक्षामा लिनु जरुरी छ र सिपमूलक शिक्षक पनि नियुक्ति गर्नुपर्ने छ र जाने थाई प्रकृतिका टिचरहरू त्यस प्रकृतिका पनि हुनेछन् र काहीँ न थाई पूर्ति नहुन्जेलसम्म अस्थायी प्रकृतिका जाने टिचरहरू त्यसको तोकिएको मितिभन्दा बढी बस्न पाउने छैनन्। 6 महिना भन्दा जाने 6 महिना भित्रै त्यो जाने पदपूर्ति गर्न बाध्य बनाइनेछ। अब लामो 20 वर्ष बढाउनु पर्दैन।
A legal provision has also been made requiring teachers working in community schools to undergo refresher training every 5 years according to new curriculum. The committee also decided that the member secretary of the National Examination Board will be a senior officer. The committee has also decided that temporary employees currently working on the board will be given a one-time opportunity to gain permanent status through internal competition, and those who fail will receive a golden handshake. The issue of whether those teaching in early childhood development centers should be called teachers or facilitators remains undecided. The Education Committee of the Lower House is preparing to pass the School Education Bill tomorrow. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on former President Vidya Devi Bhandari rejoining CPN-level politics? Your options are A, erosion of the highest state position, B, political freedom, C, tensions within the party, and D, no comment. Visit www.kantipurtv.com or ekantipur.com to share your opinion with us. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. At 7 p.m, our colleague Rupa Khadka will be here with more news update. Stay tuned.